everybody's okay this Saturday morning, and if you're on a long weekend, like we are here in Ireland, I hope you're having a good one, having an enjoyable weekend. It's Easter, for those of you who are watching in replay. This week we're talking about, keeping focused. How can we keep focused? How can we regain focus? Because we know that, stress and anxiety, fear, tiredness, a whole load of issues can diminish your ability to focus. They've also have, of course, a huge implication for your physical and mental health. So, we need to be able to tackle the root causes of those. And I'm not going to go into those. I have gone into them in the past, how you can help yourself there. So I'm going to focus solely today on just focus on regaining your ability to focus. But if you do have an issue with any of those, you really do need to go and talk to your GP, and you really do need to come and see somebody like me, a therapist. So, have a think about that. You do need to tackle that root cause. So there are things, though, that you can do to help yourself in the meantime. And as always, I'm going to start off with, your basic self-care. Yep, I'm going to mention it. You have to get your basics right. My basic self-care is probably different than most people's. I take it back down to the basics, washing yourself, changing your clothes, changing your things that we let go, eating right, things like that, making sure we're having enough water in our system, things that we tend to let go when we're not feeling well. So we really need to do that. But the two that I want to focus on, sorry, the one, but we want to focus on with this one in the basics of self-care will be sleep and meditation, because I include those in your basics of self-care. So we want to look at meditation in the form of even a 3-minute breather, and I have a link out to a free podcast on that shows you how to do that. This will help reduce your stress and anxiety and the fear, bring that level right down. And I'll talk about that in another second. And then the sleep part about it is, what it'll help you do is going to help you with the tiredness, of course, but it's also going to stop that negative cycle from continuing, from getting worse. Because if you add that into an already difficult situation around stress or anxiety or any other mental health condition, and then you're not getting enough sleep, or your sleep is off if you're getting too much as well, then you're going to be creating an even worse negative cycle, and it will perpetuate. So we don't want to do that. So going back to the meditation, the meditation will help you to stop. That's what it does when you actually start to practice it. Even 3 minutes ago, it gives you the ability to stop and think, and then be more proactive than reactive. And if you think about it in this sense, proactive is good. You'll make good decisions, better decisions. And if you think of reactive, we're not making the best decision for ourselves. We're just reacting in the moment. Sometimes you need to do that, but an awful lot of the time it is better if you can, even for a second, stop, take a step back and observe what's really going on, and then move into it from there. And as I said, there is a free 5-day course on sleep in my group. So if you want to come and join me, there's a link in the description of how you can do that, and you can come over and take that course if sleep is your issue, in that one. Number 2 is simple thing of just getting out a piece of paper or a notebook and doing a brain dump. And I've talked about brain dumps before. Firstly, it will help with your sleep. If you do it last thing at night, it's a great tip for, dumping everything out of your head last thing at night, and then just getting it down on paper. It frees up the space in your head, so that way you get a better night's sleep. But the second thing you can do is, if you aren't if things are feeling overwhelmed, or things aren't going the way you want, and you really don't know where to start next, what do I do next? Do a brain dump. Write everything down that you think you have to do. Doesn't matter if it's at home, it doesn't matter if it's at work. Write it all down. This way, when you write down the list, you can actually start seeing it on paper right in front of you in black and white. What do I have to do next? What's the list of things I have to do? You can break those down into small manageable steps between 5 and 20 minutes long, 20 minutes maximum. But what I would do is I'd break them down. I'd see what I can do. What's the quickest and easiest thing I can do next on that list? A 5-minute task. Can I do that? Pick that one, do it, and that'll help you regain the focus again, and it'll help you also with your sense of overwhelm. So, you'll get the momentum back and the motivation back. So, have a think about doing one of those. Think about doing a brain dump. Number 3, I've talked about this only last week. Have a planner system in place. It really does help, not only with your mental health, but it will help you focus, because it keeps everything organized in one place. You can see at a glance where everything is. You can keep on top of things more easily, so therefore you're not as overwhelmed, and you can break important projects down that you want to do again, whether it's at home or whether it's in work. Remember, your projects are what helps you achieve your goal. So break those down into tasks. Again, no more than 20 minutes. Any task for a project should be no longer than 20 minutes at a go. And as I said, I only just did a blog on this, so I'm not going to go into detail on that one and setting up a planner system and like that. Have a look at last week's video where I go into more detail. Number 4, focus on only one thing. Obvious. That's a pretty obvious one. People think they can multitask. Guess what? Your brain can't. It's just not built for multitasking. We try and we try and we try and we try and we try to multitask. And what happens then is we lose focus. We're forever on these things, devices, all sorts of shapes and sizes. This is my phone. But and we're trying to have a conversation, or we're trying to type an email, or we're trying to do something else, and we're getting distracted by these things. Not a good idea, guys. You can't. You're going to lose focus. You're going to lose vital pieces of information. So only do one thing at a time. The other thing you got to think about in this one is, am I supposed to be doing this task? Is it mine to do? If not, let it go. Can I delegate it or delete it in any way? Is it time that I let it go? Again, can I let it go, or can I delegate it to somebody else, particularly if it's in work? Is the task that you're trying to do, will that actually help me achieve what I want to achieve? Sometimes we can keep ourselves very busy, but we're not actually going anywhere. We're just going on the hamster wheel, and we're not actually going anywhere. So then that brings us on to, the next question is, will this actually be focused on the problem or the solution? Again, if you can get caught up in negative thinking, a lot of the time we're actually not focusing on the solution. We're only focusing on the problem. So you have to think about this. Am I actually is this task going to help me focus on the solution and not just the problem? So we have to let go of the problem and, find the right solution. Let go of the negative thinking, because the negative thinking will keep all our attention on the actual problem and not on the solution. Therefore, we're not focusing on the right thing. So in that case, then we need to use an acronym called STOP. Okay, so it's a simple one. It's a very simple one I use with my free group for mums. You stop what you're doing. Just actually stop what you're doing. Take a few breaths. It's, you'll hear the SAS would use this. They recalibrate. That's what they call it. They recalibrate. They stop, they recalibrate, and then they become more proactive. So, we stop, we take a few breaths. That's what they mean by recalibrate. They're taking a few breaths. We observe what's going on. What's really going on? What's going on? And am I reacting? Am I getting caught up in some sort of negative thinking? Maybe I need to do a quick brain dump to see what's actually going on here. So get it all out of your head. Look at the situation again, and then P for proceed, and be proactive as well. So P is also for the proactive. So you have stop what you're doing, take a deep breath, observe what's really going on, and do a brain dump, and then go and proceed proactively and go again. 5 is to have some visual reminders of your goals. It's a good idea. In that, you can see what you want to do. What do I really want? So it'll help you refocus. What do I really want to achieve here? The other thing that will help here is also, and help you with focus, but also boost your self-esteem, is to put up reminders of what you already have achieved, whether that's certificates, your house that you bought, different things that you've done in your life. I don't care how small they are, stick them up on a vision board. These are all what I've achieved. This is where I'm aiming for. Have another vision board of what I want to do. You can have these on your laptop. You can have it on your computer. You can have them on your phone. You can create them over in Canva. They're really easy to do. But they will help you refocus. What's the main focus? What do I want to focus on? What has already helped me? What have I already achieved? And what can I, this will also help me focus again, because I know I can do it. I know I can do things when I focus. I look at everything I've achieved. So think about using those kind of vision boards for that. 6, surround yourself with positive supporters. Why? Again, they can help you in so many ways. They can help you just in practical ways. They can give you information, and when you have the right information, I've said it time and time again, when you have the right information, you can be more proactive about what you need to do, and you can be more focused on what you need to do as well. The course, your team of supporters should also be giving you positive emotional and social support as well. And again, all of that's going to help you with your original problem, which would have been stress and anxiety, tiredness or fear or whatever it was for you. So it helps reduce down your risks in terms of your mental and physical health. And therefore, again, positive cycle instead of a negative one. You're going to be more focused as a result. 7, following on from this, is to get an accountability buddy. Again, you need somebody that you can trust here. But you need somebody who's going to be honest with you. So they're going to tell you how it is. They're not just going to be supporting you, but they will tell you how it is. So if you're falling down, they're going to call you out on it. You know that they will help you. Do at least weekly check-ins. This will help you stay focused. You'll do a review. You do a review in your planning system, but do a review with your buddy as well, your accountability buddy, and go, how are things going? Yeah, I did this right. You might be focusing on the negative stuff because things didn't go as well as you expected this week, but they're going to be able to point out the positives for you, and that's better for your focus. They're going to be able to help you get back on track and stay focused in a positive way. 8, obvious one again, cut the notifications from the devices. If you've got stuff popping up on your screen and you're trying to focus on something, if you've got ding, ding, ding of these things, what are you going to focus on? You're trying to multitask. It's going to pull away your focus from what you really want to get done. Again, whether it's at home or at work, cut the notifications, turn down the sound if you're trying to focus on something. Otherwise, you just can't focus. Your attention is going to be pulled away. These, they're very good. Social media in particular is very good at training us, to be very responsive, very fast, and it reduces your ability to focus as well. 9 would be to cut the clutter. Again, if you're surrounded by clutter, that even subconsciously is driving a message. I have to tackle that. I have to tackle that. I need to deal with this. It's a negative. It can be very negative. Plus, you're not going to be able to find things when you want it. So, it's diverting your attention what you want to be focusing on. The task at hand, not everything around you. So again, cut the clutter. 10, last one for this morning. Get up and get moving. And the reason I say this is if you're particularly stressed, anxious, fearful, etc., it's releasing the fight, flight, or fright hormones into your body. Your system, your physical system, your mental system gets flooded. You need to get up and move and get rid of that. Get up and get rid of some of the excess of those hormones that are releasing into your body. Again, it's not going to be good for your focus. So you're better off getting up and doing some, a 10-minute walk, some vigorous exercise or housework or something like that, than, trying to just sit there. Get up and get moving. Then come back, do the brain dump. Pick one simple thing, as I said, pick one 5-minute task off your list to reduce the overwhelm. get the momentum, get the focus back again, get the motivation back again, and then get going again. You'll begin again. But get up and get moving is a really good way, particularly if you're feeling very overwhelmed, very anxious, very stressed, fearful even. Get up, get moving. Okay, you want to break that fight, flight, or fright response. It's a normal response, but when you become overwhelmed, you need to break it and get moving. So that's it for this morning. Again, if you want a link to the original blog with more information, it has podcasts, videos, how to work with me, everything that's there, how to link into the group with all the free training, and it is about a year's worth of training in there. I did training every week for a year. For the past year, so there's loads of training in that. You can do it at your own time with free support from me. Then you can click the link below in the description. And again, I will talk to you all next week. I will be heading back into my roots and trying to give you information. And that's what I started off the blog to do, was to give people basic information. And that's where I'm going next week. I said I would do it once a month for the next year. I would start giving you basic information around different topics so you can use it if that is important for you, or you're just new to a diagnosis. You would have somewhere to start and then link out to support groups. That's what we'll be doing next week. So I'll see you all then. Good morning and hello to everybody who's watching. Good morning, Deirdre, as always. I'll tweet you on Wexford Air on Tuesday night. So happy Easter. Have a good weekend, and I will talk to you all next week.